What's going on, everybody? How you doing? This is John Redness. You got Simon T. Bailey right there. He's going to be our guest today on Hurdles of Adversity, Inspirers and Maximizers of Pivotal Moments. But let's get you all in the room. We're going to come back to him in just a second. We got two already, so if you are in the house, we want to know who you are. So that means put in the chat box. I'm looking down here. I'm looking for the comments. I want to see you because you're what makes the show. Because we want to make sure that you are getting what you need to hurdle your adversity, amputate your fear, embrace this new normal mindset to win the medals that are in your life. So I'm introducing you to some crazy, just amazing inspirers and maximizers of pivotal moments. I'm your host, John Register, and I work with business professionals to hurdle adversity, amputate fear, embrace that new normal mindset to win the medals in their life. You're going to hear that time and again. That's all I do. And we do it at different capacities. So we do that from professional keynote speaking to trainings. Lynn Keir is on the line. Of course, Lynn is going to be the first one on. Diebold Nixdorf is in the house. Thank you, Lynn. We are back. We got a two for today. I'm going to share with you what that means. So thanks for being on. I'm glad you're in Dr. Avis's group too. And so we got, look at that, Dr. Parthaban. Thank you so much for coming in. I hope that you enjoyed the show with where we were we're in Asia, or I think that's what it was. The thing was happening, and then we have a fellow NSA member. Who are you? Make yourself known. We want to know who you are because this is great. Vaughn Ware, professional footballer. What's up? What's happening, Vaughn? I'm so glad that you are in the house. All right, so we got so many people that are here. So thank you for coming in. We have more. If you are out there, please. Put the link in or however you do it, put that out there so other people know that we are live. You're not going to want to miss this conversation. We're going to be going up to 35 after the hour, so we got to get out of here quick. But I want to thank you all for being on. We are talking with an amazing individual today. So as you're coming on, we are always putting that chat. We want to know where you are watching from. Where are you streaming in from? And are you plugged into your Ethernet so that you're not going to lose signal like I did last week? So here we go. I want to thank you all for always engaging. This year has been crazy. When I first got this LinkedIn Live platform and just started pushing into space, you all supported it. And I didn't know how it was going to turn out. We've been having some amazing conversations with individuals, and they've been helping us. They've been expanding us. So it's just not about me trying to do this. I need support too. So these individuals are pulling me forward. And this person we have on is just an amazing individual. So who am I? At 5:29 in the afternoon on May 17th, 1994, I was one of the world's fastest hurdlers, and I was a Gulf War Army veteran on my way to officer candidate school. At 5:30, I went across a hurdle, landed awkwardly, dislocated my left knee, and then 7 days later, had an elective surgery and became an amputee. My wife, she says, you know what, John, we're going to get through this together. It's just our new normal. So I've been using that term a very long time. And when she said that, I realized it wasn't a destination as most people use it today, but it was a plateau by which we grow. And so I swam for physical therapy. I elevated. I got to the Paralympic Games and in swimming. Can you imagine that? I went as a swimmer. I saw athletes running and jumping on artificial limbs. And then in 2000, I won the Paralympic silver medal in the long jump in Sydney, Australia. But that could be the success. But it's not the success. It's another kind of a false summit. Because once we have our success, we have to go back and help other people in their journey. And so I started the Paralympic military sport program using sports as a tool to rehabilitate injured service members who are wounded and injured in our military. And expanded to Warrior Games, expanded to Prince Harry's Invictus Games, and it kind of went all around the globe. So what are you doing? How are you expanding? How are you taking the conversation to that next level? Individuals that we have and that we're interviewing on this show are helping us all do that because we all come from various walks of life and we all want to elevate. We all want to push. And sometimes it's challenging. So with that, we're going to start getting ready to get into this. Lynn Keir says, guess what? Hello, Simon. She's shouting you out already. Awesome. So we would want to make sure that you know that. So I want you to put in the chat box right now. Who are we talking to? Who's my guest today? Put that in. Put his @ sign in there. Shout him out right now on LinkedIn or wherever, on YouTube or in the Facebook group that we have. Put him in the chat. We want to know who that is. Type his name. and what you're anticipating learning from him. So my guest's passion and purpose is to empower and equip you for sustainable transformation. Sustainable transformation. I don't know, I thought sustainment is you stay the same, but transformation is always moving up. So you're sustaining, you're moving up. It's like the new normal mindset. We're embracing, we're elevated. It's not a destination, it's only a plateau by which we grow. I like that already. He has over 30 years experience, has partnered with almost 2,000 organizations, and he's here today to help us pursue our full potential. So please welcome my guest. I can't believe he's here, y'all. The one and only Simon T. Bailey. Oh my gosh, thank you, Simon.
Good to be with you, John. Let me just say thank you for your service to our country, and thank you for the difference you're making in the world. I admire you, sir.
Oh, likewise. So thanks for saying that. We're all running from something or to something. So that's how I got in the military. So just kind of jumping in this conversation, kind of just a little bit of background on who you are. I know that I've known about you for a little while and have been an admirer. I have your books over there. I should have brought the book out with me. I have to go get it. And Shift Your Brilliance was, I think, the first one I read. And then you have another one out. We can talk about that a little bit. But really what I saw was this storyline of being executive over at Disney. Really, pushing hard, having some brilliant ideas and just really helping a lot of people. What was one of the challenges, the greatest challenge you might have faced in your career? Kind of what was it like working for the mouse? And then, then what's the challenges that kind of behind the curtain, underneath the hallways that I always hear about, that people pop up behind garbage cans and things like that?
Yeah. Well, I think it was 7 of the greatest years of my life working at the happiest place in the world, the 7th most recognized brand in the world. One day I got a call from a journalist, and whenever you work at Disney, you never talk to the media. And the journalist said, "Where do you see yourself 10 to 15 years from now?" And I said, "I see myself as the president and CEO of the Walt Disney World Resort and eventually the chairman and CEO of the Walt Disney Company." And he puts this in print, true story. So the article comes out, page 12, Florida Business Trend Magazine, February 2002. You see my Godiva chocolate pitcher with the Mickey Mouse topiary behind me, and this caption of me saying I wanted to be #1 guy. And you can still Google it to this day. And my boss calls me in the office, and he's like, "What were you thinking when you did this interview?" And I said, "Larry, I work at this company whose motto is, if your heart is in your dreams, no request is too extreme. For when you wish upon a star, it makes no difference who you are, but obviously it does here." So funny today, not funny then. So I get a call from one of the senior vice presidents, and he says, "This is really bad. Do you need me to go to the president on your behalf?" True story, no embellishment. And I said, "How bad is it?" He said, "If this story would have come out before the markets closed, people would have said, 'Who is this guy that's in line to be president of Walt Disney World?'" I was like, "No, don't go to him." So then human resources shows up a couple hours later and asked me to sign a piece of paper that went into my personal file. And let's just say, John, Disney didn't fire me that day, but about a year later, I heard the footsteps coming, and they were not singing "It's a Small World" after all.
Wow.
Adversity.
That's a day. So what I'm thinking about right here is, you say that there are these goals, that we can have these dreams, and we can dream big.
Yeah.
But do we? Can we really? And so I guess that's my next question for you. How do you then take the lid off of people's dreams so that they can expand, they can go? Because the vision is really ours, right? We can't give a vision to somebody else.
Totally.
To buy into our vision, but the vision is ours to own. So how do we keep that vision and keep not the lid on it, but open it up so other people can see that we can actually blossom?
So the first thing is realizing that there will never be a perfect time for you to become the person you might have been. It is the ability to step up, step out, and step through what is waiting on the other side of yes, right? By the time a child is 17 years of age, they have heard no 150,000 times, according to research, and only yes 5,000 times. So the second thing is saying yes to yourself, because on the other side of the yes is everyone that has been waiting for you to get to a place called there. And you get there in here. When there is an alignment of head, heart, and hands, and you get there by saying yes, one little yes leads to another yes, to another yes, to another yes. So it doesn't happen overnight, but a little becomes a lot over a long period of time.
I love that. Stories going on in my head right now, which was my daughter, Ashley, and a story about saying yes. I'm not going to get into the whole story, but to summarize, she's 10 years old. She's about to turn 11. My wife is a flight attendant, very fresh, very new, has to work over Christmas. My daughter's birthday is on December the 30th. So we have Christmas alone together, her and I. My son's in college. He's playing basketball, so basketball tournaments. And my wife is flying because she's a low person on the totem pole. She's got to fly the holidays. I asked my daughter as we're sitting there eating soup, because that's how I work. She says, I say to her, Ashley, your birthday's coming up, and mom's got to work. What would you like to do? How do we do this? She looks me dead in the eye, and then back down to her soup and says, I'd like to go to Paris.
There it is.
There it is. So I was about to say, no, no. Right? But I leaned in, and what I wrote a kind of article in my book. It's called "A Hard Yes versus an Easy No."
Wow.
And so that we had this amazing experience all because of the yes, and what things that can actually happen when we do actually say yes. You're exactly right. The world opens up to us. So in this, you're once you left Disney, right? Because you said, okay, the foot started coming down. They're not saying it's a small world, but it's getting smaller for you. You turned down. What made you turn down other offers? Because I know that you had some other offers because you're
right.
So
incidentally, Disney had sent me to Paris to design a leadership program for 1,000 leaders on a Barclays Bank out of London. And Lion King had just come out, and I said, remember who you are. You are more than what you have become. Literally, just like hit me in that moment. And the reason I turned those jobs down, because I recognize that when you work in a corporation for a long time, at some level, you settle for a chair, a check, and a cup of coffee in Cubicle Farm, and you wake up one day and say, I'm just a bill. Well, I'm only a bill, and I'm sitting here in Capitol Hill. This does not work.
I'm looking in the chat right now to see if anybody knows that reference on Schoolhouse Rock. Do you know that reference? Because that's how I got through school. Go ahead.
but I recognized that it was time for me to find my happiness elsewhere. And so it was easy to turn down those jobs because what I recognized, there are three questions you ask yourself. What would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? Seth Godin says, what would you do if you knew you would fail? Okay, so that's a different spin. What would I do if no one paid me to do it? And what makes me come alive? The great Howard Thurman quote. Don't ask what the world needs, ask what makes you come alive. So when I answered all three of those questions, I realized that I had moved into what Rabbi Harold Kushner calls emotional congruency. When you have emotional congruence, everything that you think, do, say, and feel is in alignment. So the moment I had internal alignment, it created external execution for me to begin to say yes to myself and no to everything else. So sometimes after you say yes, you have to say no to protect your yes.
Okay, you just said a mouthful there, and I'm my head's spinning trying to wrap how to get to this next question. There are times I've been not really wrestling with this, but I've been chewing on it, right? It's like the cow, chewing over it, chewing it. And we get to these moments, these redefining moments in our lives. Some people may have had a redefining moment with COVID. Some people probably have with George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery. Some people probably have with the presidential contentious election that was going on. So, but they come to this redefining moment. And we look at what may have been in the past, right? So I may say, had to overcome the amputation of my left leg. I'd have my leg back. I want to get that life back, but I can't. I can't get that back. My leg is gone. Pre-COVID is gone, right? We don't have that any longer because we're now in December. That happened back in March.
Yeah.
But we're holding on to that. I think I'm going to go back to that. What, in your opinion, is holding people back? What's the thing that you think is holding people back that is that they think they're getting back, that is now holding them back from this new normal breakthrough, this mindset that you were just talking about?
Sometimes what holds us back is comparison and thinking what others might say if we fail. Things are not going to go back to the way they were pre-COVID. So if we're living in what many call the next normal, right, then what we have to realize is something has happened, global pandemic, but we've built a story around what's happened, and the story becomes bigger than what's happened. So everyone is now being invited to find the Control-Alt-Delete button and delete from our mind drive and our hard drives those things that slow us down in the matrix and prevent us from uncovering and unlocking our inner Neo to realize that we are the one. So the moment you realize that you are the one, the pandemic hasn't happened to you, it's gone through you. No matter how you have survived and thrived. So it's that daily decision to wake up and say, you know what, I'm the creator of the story, and I'm going to create a mental model that allows me to get through this time.
That's very interesting. I love the Matrix analogy because I'm a huge Matrix fan. so I was in a group the other day and said that, well, the Matrix wasn't real. So yes, it was. Yes, it is. If you're enjoying this conversation with Simon T. Bailey, put his name in the chat wherever you're watching from, tag him, and put in the thing that you have heard him say that's been the most brilliant thing that's impacting your life. We want to put that in the chat box right now. So kind of going back to what you just said here, and I know we got to get ready for a few more minutes here, but going back to what you just said, in that we don't get back what we have. I think there's something to be said that there's kind of this illusion of what people most thought they were losing was their certainty, because we always hear time we're living uncertain times, and I don't believe we ever had certainty. I think it's an illusion. And so if we're trying to go back, we want to get back to that illusion of certainty, then it fits right with your matrix. I want to keep the blinders on. I want to stay asleep. I don't want to really look at what's going on in the real world. Lynn Keir says, so what she heard from you say is, say yes to yourself.
Yes.
So if that's the illusion that we had certainty, then how do we take that? We had certainty. How do we be more certain right now if it's an illusion to move forward?
The best way to be certain of the future is to wake up every single day and say, how do I become better and not bitter? And being better, how do I be a better human being to my spouse, my significant other, my partner, my family, my children? How do I be a more kind human being by opening the door, greeting someone, smiling, even in the midst of our mask, smiling with our eyes, practicing physical distancing? How do I ensure that I show up every single day to be the best human, even if I'm showing up virtually? But I say, John, how are you doing? And we move from me to we. And it's in that we-ness that we create the connection that I need you and you need me.
That's absolutely. The story we tell ourselves is bigger than the reality, says Lynn. So thank you, Lynn, for chiming in, always being great on this show. You know, I want to get to some, I know we got short on time. Like, oh my gosh, this is too rich. One of my thoughts right now is on mentoring, right? Because I know that, you know, I have a few mentors in my life, and I don't know if a lot of people are, I think we get caught because we don't have people that can help us in the times of struggles and challenges. Who are some of your mentors that you kind of, look up to say, I need to pull Simon forward a little bit?
Yeah, one of my mentors is a guy named Joel. He's 80 years of age, Harvard MBA, New York Law School, and Columbia undergrad. Marvelous guy. He's been through a lot, investment banker, retired. And I talked to him about how did you discover how to be resilient? And he also served in special ops in the Marines.
Okay.
And he just begins to share stories. And when I listen to him, because he has an 80-year-old perspective, it causes my mind to shift that say, if he can go through it, I can go through it. What am I complaining about? So I reach out to him early and often. But the other thing is, I'm mentored through books and authors, their story, men and women that I may never meet, but I read their books and I highlight them like they're talking directly to me.
Mm. Who are you reading right now?
One of the books I'm so excited about is our friend, Tom Winiger, who is a NSA member, and his book is called Your True DNA.
Okay.
It is a page turner. It's so well written. Tom is in his 60s now, but he looks back to say, here's what I've discovered in my 40s and 50s. Now I pass it on to you. So he's like almost like a Mr. Miyagi, right? And so I'm reading this book. I'm like, God, I'm having all these joy bombs as I read his book.
That's phenomenal, because that gets into the legacy. Always, when we've made our successes, who are we going back to kind of help? I think people make that jump when they're stuck, when they're kind of fearful.
Yes.
Are they going to stay with other people's opinions of society? But when hope kind of exceeds the fear, because both of those two things are future states, right?
Yeah. Yes.
We, like you said, we tell ourselves as to what story are we telling
Mhm.
ourselves and our resilience mindset. And I think that is really the critical thing. So Lynn was saying the same exact thing. It's important to go back and leave a legacy for others. So who are some of the individuals that, you are now, I want to invest Simon's time to really build up another generation?
So one of the things that's really important to me is my children. It's important that they see me as a father who at one time was disconnected because I was chasing money, had no meaning. I was pursuing power, had no purpose. I was going after status, but had no status satisfaction because I was climbing the ladder only to realize that my ladder was against the wrong wall. Thank you, Dr. Stephen Covey, for that insight. So now my most important job is to be a dad first, business person second, because it makes no sense if you have a jacked up home. You have nothing to say on the virtual stage or the live stage. So what I realize is my first job is to be an effective dad. Then I become effective for business and all the people we need to serve.
Y'all, this guy dropping bombs today, man. Did you hear that? Boom, it just happened. One was right over there. One just happened over there. Bombs all over the place. You've been enjoying this conversation. Please shout Simon out. Really appreciate him being on. I know you got a hard stop coming up here in a couple of minutes. How do people get connected with you? How do they find you?
Yeah, they just go to Simon T. Bailey, T like terrific, SimonTBailey.com. All of our information is there, and it's Simon T. Bailey in social media as well.
I'm glad you didn't say T like Tombstone. Another great movie that I love. That was great.
For sure.
I really appreciate you being on and all the insights that you've given to us. So thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful holiday season. Blessings to your family. I adore you. You are just one of those individuals who is such a great giver of your gifts. Some people have a lot of gifts to give, and some people actually are the gift. And thank you for being the gift.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yeah. Kind of forever. All right. That is the Simon T. Bailey. Thank you so much for being on. Give him some shout outs. Make sure that you are retweeting this or reposting this or whatever you're going to do with it. And I really hope that that you have a great opportunity to share Simon with some of your constituents out there. All right. So what do we have coming up next? Next is you get a two for today. The twofer is because I messed up last week and I was writing my book out in San Diego and I didn't have a hardwired connection. And so I was trying to interview Mr. Joel Block and it didn't work. So I was fading out. I was fading. I was fading. So this the one you're going to get right now is coming up is going to be Joel Block is going to be on it in about an hour. So we're going to redo that one so that you can get a chance to hear two people today. But I want to make sure that you understand that you are the inspiration, right? And you're the catalyst to motivation. Motivation in turn causes actions. Actions lead us to transformational results. These results, they re-inspire us, to allow other people that are watching the process to catch their own vision. The two for today with Mr. Joel Block. He's in finance. He's really brilliant. We tried him last week, as I said. Now, 2 weeks from now, next week, Christmas holiday and the holiday season, we're not going to be on the show. So enjoy your families, be with everybody. I'm going to enjoy it. My grandbaby comes tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow, the next day. And we got a train ride. We got the Polar Express. We're going to be doing all kinds of stuff. I'll be posting on Instagram, and I'm going to be posting into the Facebook group. So be over there to see all the stuff that's going on. It's something kind of silent over here. Silent night. Yes, we will be silent night. Then we come back in the new year. We have our first guest coming up. Hopefully we keep him on. Will be Ronaldo Skeets Nehemiah, the first man to break 13 seconds in the 110-meter high hurdles. We'll talk a little bit about the 1980 boycott, where he did not get a chance to compete in the Olympic Games and would have theoretically won gold at that event. And then we have the amazing other one, speed skater, short track guy, Apollo Anton Ono is going to be with us. So we have a lot of things that we're going to be pushing up into the new year. I'm going to be posting all kinds of stuff in the Amputate Fear group in the Instagram page. So make sure that you are over there chatting with us there. So have a great time with your family. Please wear a mask. And if you are in the group, post your photos. So we want to see them over there as well. Our command always this year has been to go forth and inspire your world. Why? Because go, that is our command. Forth, that's our direction. Inspire is our vocation. Because this DNA belongs to you. Only you can do this work. You're the only one that can make it happen. And then world, it's your sphere of influence. All right. See you in the new year. We will chat with you at 3:12 in the afternoon in 2021. God bless everybody. Go forth, inspire your world. Bye for now.